everyone, we're gonna be playing D&D. I hope you have fun. And also, I believe in you. Be careful playing your game. Bye.
Have you ever wanted to have a campfire for your D&D players to have 3D on the table that flickers? If so, this video is for you. It's going to be Dungeons & Dragons Beginning Crafters Campfires. Hey guys, this is DM Dunn. I'm going to show you guys how to make the campfires that I showed you in one of my other videos from beginning to end, so that if you do decide to want to do it, instead of just giving you that explanation, I'm going to show you the details of how to get it done. So the first step, you can go to any store that you want and grab this. I got these at the Dollar Tree, so you get 2 for $1, so 50 cents a light. I'll go ahead and grab extras because I like to make as many as you want, and you can also use them for other things as well too. So you're just going to pop them open and pull your tab, flick the switch, and they should be good to go, and they should be lighting up and flickering. Ooh, ah, looks beautiful and fantastic. So there's a couple of things that you can do with these campfires, which I'm going to show you, but I'm also going to show you how to make basically like a burning building or just something that's caught on fire and like a cloud of smoke with the light inside of it as well. And it's pretty simple. Again, Black Magic Craft does this as well, but I'm going to show you this. So I've recently been doing Roll20, and Friday we had our first time where my group actually got together in person, and we actually had our Roll20 maps, but we also had some of these on the table as well. So the first thing to do is just take your knife, your razor blade, whatever you have, and just go around, and you can just easily cut the plastic part off of the tip. So it goes just like that. And it just gives you easier access to get to where the light flickers. And then you want to grab some polyfill that you can get at your stores too. This is what people put inside of their pillows and like stuffed animals and toys and things like that. This is going to work better than trying to get cotton or anything. So big bag of this doesn't cost too much. Get your hot glue gun plugged in, warmed up and going. And then just come in here, grab some, like so. And then I just kind of like to try to roll it around so you got a little bit of a hole in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue up and down the sides here, and then we're going to stick it in, and we're going to try to get the glue to adhere to the sides. Don't get worried too much about trying to have overhang, because you can always trim that with our scissors as well. Give it a nice little haircut. It is going to be hot glue, so be careful. Stick your thumb in there too hard and it could burn you. So try not to burn yourself, but be cautious. And I've also found that trying to put hot glue around the whole thing at one time isn't going to work, because it's going to get cool by the time you get around to the other side. So you want to do a little bit at a time. So get your hot glue gun, whatever glue gun that you have, and just smear a dab on there, kind of put it where you want it, and then just roll some in there and just hold it into place. And then you're just going to continue working your way around. Hot glue is a crafter's best friend. Hot glue, what would I do without you? Uh-oh, we need a new glue stick to push down. That's how you reload. It's quick reload. Always have them handy, ready to roll. Hot glue, I love you. What would I do without you? Usually I'm not singing to myself. Usually I've got some Drist Worden books going in the background that I can listen to, or I'm watching Critical Role. Fortunately, they haven't been filming recently, but they've got other content that's been going on as well too. So now you've got this going on. You can kind of stretch it out. If you've got too much, you can just pull it off. If you want to make it a little bit taller, you can do that as well too. So now the next step is to grab some just cheapest black spray paint you can find. I found this at Home Depot, 99 cents for black. I typically try to get the flat black. This one is the shiny black, so I like it for this because I like flat on all my other stuff. And so I accidentally grabbed this one because it looked black and I wasn't paying attention. So you're just going to grab this. I'm going to take it outside, and then you're going to hold it at a distance and just kind of just hit it a little bit. You're not going to try to soak it, make it super black, but you're just going to kind of make it look like it's smoky gray. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be right back. All right, so I am back. So just a little couple touches of black spray paint. If you want to do a little heavier on the bottom, makes it a little bit more realistic. And then I'll do another shot where you guys can see this when the lights aren't as bright. But to make it fit a little bit cleaner on the table, you can just shave off around the bottom here. And it'll sit on the table nicely. Kind of like so. Kind of like some people are doing for COVID-19. So, boom! Homemade haircut. Fireball. There you go.
I would like to cast Fireball. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball.
All right, so we got that guy out of the way. So now, how do we make the actual campfires that you guys saw me do the other day? A couple of things that you can get. You can get some sand. I got this out of my kids' sandbox in the backyard that we built for them. And also at the Dollar Tree, you can get these little pebbles, inexpensive, but if you want, you can go out in the yard and find them if you guys want, but it's nice little concentrated, different size pebbles. And then I went and just got a twig from a plant that I had a bush that I had growing in the yard. And you can break this off, and these will look like your wood. You could get like popsicle sticks and try to shave those down if you want to do that too, but I just find this to be easier, and I think it kind of looks a little bit more realistic. And for me, it's just faster and easier. Now, I like to do things, I don't like it to be this tall. I think this is unrealistic. It's what, almost, it's 3/4 of an inch tall. I think that's just way too unrealistic for my likings for a D&D campfire. So what you can do, pop the top off, and then you can just take your hot glue and you can start filling in these gaps, because you don't want to have these very specific ledges and lines like this. So you can start filling it in like so. And just work the glue. And don't burn yourself, but you just want to have it to where it looks some kind of consistent. So we're making the low parts raise up to the high parts, and then just trying to like level out the high parts as well. And like so. All right, so I'm gonna work on this and cool it down, and then I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so here's what I did during that little break. Is first thing I did is I got a matchstick, and I just snipped off a small piece so that I had a piece to go over the black part, which is the button that slides back and forth. Now this is important because we've taken the cover off that has a little support on the inside that holds that down. So if you were to try to turn this on the game table, it's just going to push up because there's nothing to hold it down, and it won't light up. So that's why you're going to need to put this on there. You do want to be careful not to glue the black part. You don't want to glue that down. You still want to make that to be able to move. So I held it in place, glued one side, blew on it to dry it, and then held the other side and did that. Now the fun part. You're basically going to build a little glue bridge to go over this black part, but you're not going to touch the black part. And so you just build it up a little bit at a time. Now that we've got that wood in there, you can go on the wood. And you're just going to build it up, buttercup. And you just keep blowing it and cooling it until you got this little air pocket that can go over there, and then eventually you're going to close those pieces together. And this is a little bit more tedious than leaving the cover on, but I think it looks sexier. Instead of being this thick, it's only going to be this thick, and then we're going to cover it up and make it look like ashes and the wood as well from the campfire. Hold it upside down and it won't drip into your black switch. Hot glue is fun because it can cool quickly. You can control it a little bit better. And that should be it for that one. For the front part. And then we can do this back part just so we can have it over in case any of our other decorations want to fall down in there. So now once you have it fully encased in there, we should be good to go. So we can turn off our hot glue gun and then we can move on. So what we're going to do is we are going to take some painter's tape. We're going to tape off the LED, and then we're just going to hit this with a black spray paint. I just noticed a little spot back here that it looks like I missed with the glue, so we'll just hit that. And again, you can make different shapes if you want, or make it thicker and bigger or less. Again, all up to you. What did that painter say? Happy accidents? Alright, so there we go. So when I come back, this will be black, and then we'll pull that tape off. Now we're back. So we've got the paint has dried, so now we can remove our topper. It's kind of why I don't like the shiny. I like the matte instead because it still looks like it's wet, but it's actually not. So we can pull that off, and if we did it right, it should be able to light up for us nice and beautiful. So now you have a choice. You can either just do the hot glue by itself, or if you want, you can pull off the little cover that was there initially and add it, and then add glue to that as well. So if you want like a little wisp because you don't think you can do it, you can do it that way. Or if this is too thick, we can modify this to where it's not that bottom part, which is the part that's wedged into the thickness of this. So just take that off and do it like that. So let's go ahead and do it like that so you guys can see what we're doing. So then this is going to be obviously the flames of your campfire. So you can just kind of A, glue it in place, and then B, just build it up. It gets more than one little flicker, doesn't it? And you can do like so. Fun with hot glue. There we go. And then just continue it as big as you want the flames to be. And you can just kind of cover that up as well, just so it doesn't look like plastic. Totally up to you, however big you want it to be. So I will be good with that. But you guys can take time, make it all decorative, however you wish. So next, we're going to put some of our base material on. And one of the things you can do instead of using the hot glue is just get regular school glue. And that's going to work just fine for you. So, we've got fine sand, then we have some coarser, maybe rocks and stones, and then we're going to have our chunks of wood that they've gathered for the evening, for their evening campfire. So, bada bing, bada boom, bada bomb. Like a so. So the first thing you can do, just kind of get it all wet and just do a layer of the sand first, which would be obviously the finer coals or stuff that is already kind of burnt out, and get underneath in there. So I've stolen an old baby food jar. My kids don't eat baby food anymore. But I did steal their sand out of their play box. And you can just dump it right in. And voila. Kind of like a so. So I'm just kind of going fast so you guys get the idea. Brush it off my fire. And then after that, you can actually put some of these bigger stones if you like as well, which would look nice to get a couple of those. You can just do a drop and plop a rock. The nice thing is this glue is going to dry completely clear, so no fear. So maybe they gathered some stones to kind of help put around there. You could actually line them around the edge if you wanted to do it that way, make it look like they did that, or these could be big chunks of some of the previous logs that have burnt and then broken off into the big coals that are around. So you just do this around as well. And then after we do that, then we're going to do the branches and do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like after I get some more of those stones and some of these branches on there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, then it'll look something like this when you're done with it. Now it will take some time for your Elmer's or your school glue to dry, so you're going to want to leave it alone. When you're adding your big twigs, you can use just a little dot of the hot glue. It'll make it a little bit easier to hold them in place. But as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Now, once this glue all dries, like by tomorrow, then what you can do is you can go back in there with a little bit of that crafting paint that I had talked about, that 50-cent like apple barrel and stuff that you can get at Walmart. You're going to then want to go ahead and take some of that paint and just take a little paintbrush, and you can just brush some gray on top of the sand that we put in there. And then if you also want to, some of those bigger rocks, these guys that we put in, maybe you want to touch them with a little bit of orange and a little bit of red to make them look like they're glowing and they're hot as well. You can also take some grays and some blacks and then some reds if you want to get the wood. I'm trying to make it look like they're on fire. But the reality is, this alone, once it's dry, will look awesome all by itself on the table as well. So the painting will be up to you on how you want to do that, if you want to paint it at all. So once this is glued, you can just turn it on, turn it off, however you want, often you want, plop out on your table, and you're ready to roll. And you combine that with your little fireball in case there's a house that gets put on fire. You can turn that bad boy on, and you are ready for some fires. If you like the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, the subscribe buttons, tell all your friends about it as well, and you can really help us out by supporting our Amazon affiliate link. So there is going to be a link in the bottom, so just click that anytime you need to get anything from Amazon. Do your login, and then we'll get credit for sending you to Amazon. That really helps, so please help us out by doing that. You can also help by becoming a Patreon, which is just a monthly donation that helps us to keep these videos going as well. And you'll be able to find a link in that, a link for that down in below the video as well. Also, thank you guys so much, and until next time, have more D&D fun with DM Done.